Hi Hope Church kids, it's Steve and I'd like to talk to you about holiness. What a great word, holiness. Now, what comes to mind when you think of being holy? Do you think of church? Do you think of God? Do you think of when your socks get a hole in, you think, oh, holy? Maybe not. But to be holy, in what the Bible says to be holy, means to be set apart, to be put into a place that is completely different from anything else. Now in the Bible it talks about God being holy. He is what it means to be holy. In 1 Peter 1 verse 14 we read this: as obedient children, do not be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance. That basically means when you become a Christian, then don't go back to how you used to do things. In terms of your behaviour, in terms of how you spoke. But God is changing you to become who you were created to be. But as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct. Since it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. So quite a lot to understand there. To be holy is how you live completely. So before we become Christians, we live our lives in a certain way. We live to our own desires, to how we believe we think we should live. When our mum and dad say, oh, don't do that, don't do this, you think, oh no, I know better. And you choose to do things your own way. But when we become Christians, when we invite Jesus into our hearts, then things start to change. You start to think differently. You start to act differently. You start to say things in a different way. Now, what is happening there is God, who you invited into your heart, is living, and he's changing you to become the person you were created to be. He's helping you to be your true self. Now, as it said in the passage, it says God is holy. What does that mean? Well, God is pure. There is nothing bad in who he is. He's perfect. And that's who God calls us to be. Now, we know that we are never perfect. We do things wrong. We mess up. But that doesn't mean that God isn't helping us to become better, to become like him in how we live our lives, because he has a standard that means that we become holy, that we are changed, that we become different from how we used to live, because God is changing us to become more like Jesus. Jesus is the example of someone who lived the perfect life. Jesus cannot be compared with anything. He is above anything else. He is not a created being. He is God. He's always been and always will be. And when we become a Christian, we join his family and we become like him, because through reading his word, through being in prayer, through in relationship with him, through spending time with him, we are able to become more like him, because who you spend time with, who you think about, you become like. Like when you spend time with your friends, you pick up on the things that they do, you become interested in what they are interested in. But Jesus wants us to be in relationship with him, to be interested in what he wants us to do and how to think. Because after all, God is the one who's created us. He knows how we should be as people, how we should live, how we should speak. And through him living in us, he is changing us. He is helping us to be different. And when people see that difference, then we can say, well, it's not me, it's God within me who is showing a difference. You can live this life you were created to live with God's help. When you invite him into your heart, he is living there to help you live. He changes you from within, and it's a gradual change that will take the whole of your life, a transformation that you will end up showing Jesus to others through who you are. So it's relationship with Jesus that means that we are set apart, that we become holy, just like he is holy. Okay, thanks guys, God bless, bye.